Hi there, this is Mike with Bear Track Adventures. Right now we're getting ready to start the MSG. We're actually starting out at Upper Gap Mountain and headed about 55 miles north from the Mount Monadnock area to Mount Sunapee, headed along on the MSG Trail. So right now we're about 2 or 3 miles south of Monadnock State Park. This is our approach trail to get to the peak at Mount Monadnock, and then from there we'll continue north on the MSG trail till we hit Mount Sunapee. For the first day, we're shooting for 1 or 2 places. About 11 miles from here is our first campsite, and then depending on how that goes, I might keep on headed north to make the first day 23 miles, which would take me to Center Pond and Stoddard. So right now we're just getting started. I think we're getting close to the top of Gap Mountain. So far it's been a pretty good trail. It's starting to get a little steep here, a little rocky. But so far, pretty nice trail. I've never been out this way, so I'm glad I decided to start here with the trip. All right, we're only about 1.5 miles in. We reached the top of Gap Mountain. So this is really our first good view of any of the mountains around here. In front of me is Mount Monadnock. So I'll give you a quick view all around us. Well, so far for day one, I'm a little over 3 miles in. Made it up and down Gap Mountain. Now it's leveling out a bit. I'll be crossing the road here soon to enter Monadnock State Park. So I think I got about less than 1 mile to go before I hit that. Oh, we just crossed the highway. I believe we're in Monadnock State Park now because it's one of the few state parks in New Hampshire where you're not allowed to bring your dogs. So no dogs allowed here, which is one reason why Bear couldn't come on this trip. Looks like we reached the main trail here in Monadnock State Park. Oh, right now we're around 2,600 feet. If I remember correctly, the top of the mountain peak, it's at about 3,200. So we got about 700 feet more of climbing uphill to go. And it looks like it just gets a little bit steeper from here on out. And it continues upward. Although this rock would be a nice slide if it was raining out today. I'm sure you would slide down there pretty easy. Well, we're not quite at the top yet. I think we're only about halfway there, but we've got our first nice view off the mountain. We're still climbing up. Still got a ways to go. I don't even know if we're halfway yet. It's just been hand over fist pretty much the whole way. Trekking poles haven't done too much of a good. Still going up, and that way is the trail. It goes right up between there. I guess this is training for the White Mountains or something. So that was a 360 view from on top of Mount Monadnock. Now we're headed down the other side. Right now we're on the Dublin Trail, which turns into the MSG. So we're making our way down the other side of Mount Monadnock on the Dublin Trail. So far we made it, I'm going to say, probably about halfway down the main face of the mountain. Alright, I just stopped at this little stream here for lunch, grabbed a couple liters of water. I already ate my lunch, now I'm back on the trail. Finally made it down the rest of Mount Monadnock. Now it's on easier trails for the rest of the day here. The end of the Dublin Trail. It's the parking lot back there for the Dublin Trailhead. We're gonna continue on the White Blaze Trail, the MSG, keeps on going north. So far down at lower elevation, the trail is much easier than up top. about 9 3/4 mile in at this point. It looks like just turned into a little bit of a road walk for about a third of a mile. I'm on Old Marlborough Road, so I'll continue on here, and then about a third of a mile, the MSG, it continues off to the left, going up into the mountains. So. Looks like we reached an old shelter. The first official shelter on this trail is, I think it's the split door shelter, and then in about another mile. So this is some kind of campsite of some sort. Alright, so far we're going about 12.6 miles. We just came across the first shelter on the trail. It's a split door shelter. I don't see a privy here, but there's no fires allowed anywhere on the Greenway. But this is the first shelter. The next one is about 11 or 12 miles, which is in Stoddard, which is where I'll be stopping tonight. I just came across this big pond. From the map, it looks like it's Wright Pond. I didn't expect anything this big. Didn't know this was here. Here comes a pontoon boat out for a cruise on a Thursday afternoon. Well, that was a pretty neat part of the trail. Besides climbing the peaks of mountains and summits, I love the brooks and all the streams in New Hampshire here. It was really neat. So we just arrived at Seaver Reservoir. I'm not quite sure what town we're in, but the water sure looks inviting. It's a little toasty out here. Back there to fill up my water and filter some out. I dropped my water bladder in the stream. I had to jump in. It's about 2.5 feet deep and walk down a little bit to go fetch it out. Anyway, we're about 15.5 miles in. About another 8 miles till I get to camp. The town of Nelson, I'm about 19 miles in. I think I got about 5.5 miles before I get to camp. Just over this mountain in front of me is I'll cross into Stoddard. Nelson's just a neighboring town of Stoddard, so well, I made it to Stoddard. It's about 2.5 miles to the campsite, but I'm getting ready to cross this creek and basically go under this bridge to cross underneath Route 9. And I've never seen a trail blaze in a creek before.